Hello, we are back now to work on our fourth signature. I'm going to be working with some pretty dynamic pieces out of the ephemera pack. I just don't want to see them go to waste. And for the lack of any other embellishments, this is what I've got set up. So we're going to start here with our base page, and it is still going to measure at 8 3/4 in the height by 7 3/8 across, and it is this sheet out of your 12 by 12 core pack. We've been actually fussy cutting out a lot of the images from the sheet out of the 22 pack. So off that sheet that we've been fussy cutting, there was still a feather that remained. So I went ahead and I cut it off of this side right here. All right. It still leaves some beautiful elements. I don't know that we'll get to them. So I'm putting this here, and because I love this, I just absolutely love it. So I thought I would put it here at the bottom so that this peacock feather would continue to accent that image. Now I am going to try and pull off, if you can see that this all kind of hangs over into my scalloped edge here, but they're so thin that I'm not worried about the backing. So I'm going to try my best to pull that all off so that I can take advantage of the adhesive backing that's on this. So let's get some tape on this. Excuse the reach. Oh, hold on. This is 2 3/8 across by your height, which is 8 3/4. So 2 3/8 by 8 3/4. And again, that does not count any of the edged embellishments. So whatever you're using, you'll add that on or make adjustments to accommodate for it. Okay, where did my, well, I guess I'm using this one because I don't know what I did with it, and I'm not going to fuss around too much. Oh, here it is. Now I'm putting this on the left side. You can put it on whichever side. In fact, these next two elements, you can change them up in either way, but I love this scroll. So I didn't want to cover it up, so I'm putting this over here on the right side, which we're going to add this piece. It's a card. It says "With Love." It's the last set out of the 22 pack collection, and it's going to go here on the left side so that these beautiful scrolls that you're seeing in here will match this. We'll come back to this. I want to finish. So we're going to glue this in place. Just lay that in there. And now I am going to try really hard to get this. I would love to ink this to give it kind of an accent on the edges, but that's just going to be near impossible And I'm not going to do a portion of it if I can't do all of it. Oh, look at that. Yay. Okay, I'm just going to set it down here at the bottom. Now I want to be mindful of this here, so I'm going to bring that right up to the bottom and to the edge, and then the rest of this should just sit in there. Now I'm just noticed, I'm really hoping I didn't mess that up, is that I'm going to see how much of a stick I have there. Oops, now I'm tearing them off. Well, I guess that answered that question. Okay, I'm just not going to bear down right there. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on to this piece. It is going to measure at 4 1/8 by 5 1/2. And you're going to have a 1/2 inch score on this side. And as best as possible, I'm going to try to center this. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, and then we're going to glue this on the front. And I'm giving it a good burnish so that this will lay down better. Here, balance that out, set it in place, give her a good burnish. All right, so this is what we have for the inside back panel. Now we're going to cut our two right and left panels, but I want to show you what I've done here so you kind of understand where I'm headed. So this piece here is the last of the remaining, almost the remaining of the, I can confirm that here, 2 shakes. Yes, this is the last sheet out of that 22 core pack that we have to work with. So I cut this to go both on the left side and the right side. And then I've made a tuck. It'll be a top and a bottom tuck. And I'm doing the same for both sides, and then I'm using some of the remaining rather large ephemera pieces. This one's really large, but I paste out, putting a photo underneath here. It'll be mainly as a tuck, simply because these are going to interfere with any of your photo image unless you don't mind. Now, you do not have to use these. You can elect to fussy cut out something else to put in there, but I really want to use these. We'll see as I move along, I might change my mind on those, but that's what we have. So this is going to measure at 6 3/4 across. So 6 3/4 by your 8 3/4, and then you're going to score at a 1/2, and then you're going to score at 5/8 of an inch along your edge. And then let's put some tape on. Now on this side, because we've already created a buildup, we want to kind of stand this up when we want to wrap that little gusset around that edge so that it accommodates this, and we're sitting just about the middle of that gusset that we created. So I just need to straighten this out just a hair. And then it will should roll over rather nicely. And it will act as a nice support for our 5/8 score, but I'm still going to reinforce it. Okay, for our, this should be almost exact, 6 3/4 across, 8 3/4 in your height, and you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch and at 5/8 of an inch again. These are identical size panels. And I'm just going to wrap this around here. Push that in place. And then I want to push back. All right. So let's set our magnets. I apologize. I do need to open a new pack and it can get kind of noisy. All right. So the way I've got this set up, I want right over left. And I'll show you here shortly. So make sure your gussets are standing up, that your pages are even before you commit. It will just save you a little bit of messing around if you didn't have things leveled. Okay, we're going to finish our insides now. Now, I'm still on the fence. These can always be added later, but I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this done. So this last sheet that we have in that 22 pack collection is what's going to go, I get framed in here about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, between 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. I personally don't like to go any bigger than that because then I think you're seeing the cardstock before you see the paper. So it's just my personal preference. All right, so this little guy here measures 1 3, whoops, let's get it right here, 1 5/8. So 1 5/8. And the length is at 6 1/8. And it's going to center at about, I want the center of this to be about center on this. So that's going to be about 4 3/8. So I'm going to make a little bit of a tick so I can see where I want that to go. I'm going to run a strip of tape on both ends. And then I'm going to run a strip roughly down the middle. It won't be exact because I don't lay things straight. All righty. And because we're playing with a lot of gold, cream, and beige, I'm again using some blue scraps to add some color to the paper. And that is too long. I need to trim that So it should be about 6 inches. Instead of 6 1/8. Yeah, because if I'd left that on there, it would have been writing right on top of that score line right there, and I don't want that because it'll interfere with it turning over. So I'm going to fix this. It's going to be 6 inches. And again, we're going to go to some of my blue scraps. And I'm playing with strips that have a little element on them. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to this side. I'm going to use tape instead because I've got a magnet on this side of that flap. Just want a little bit of tape here. Let me pull this down here a little bit. All right, again, we're going to want to center at about 4 3/8. So make a little bit of a tick right there. I'm not worried about it being seen because it will get covered up. Okay, let's put some tape. Let me do my ends first. And then I'm going to come just approximately down the middle. And then we'll take all this off. There are a lot of embellishments that can be fussy cut out. Upside down, I'm going to make sure I've got the, yeah, I'm okay on this side. I must have just cut the other one a little longer. As I was saying, you've got a lot of embellishments. It's going to be your option as to whether you want to use these larger ephemera pieces. I think with the right photo, it won't matter. But again, that's entirely up to you. I think that is somewhat striking. So let me kind of show you. So let's say that this is a photo. It's a little long, but point in case. So if this is going to come up underneath here, you can actually still get a fairly good sized photo as long as you don't have any images interfering, like the butterfly. It should work just fine. And then you're going to come up underneath here. And again, as long as you have, let's say, a background, a mountain background, something in the background, but your human sources, animal sources are down here, it's not going to interfere. So I'm going to just tuck these for now, and I'm going to give it some more thought. I might look and fussy cut something else out, but at this point, I intend to use these. All right, right over left. So oh, that wasn't the last piece. This is going to be the last piece. This is the piece out of the 22 pack that we have not played with yet. So her image, and trust me, I wanted to fussy cut this, raise her up, give it a little bit of an element, but I thought that it would be asking way too much to get you to trimming around her face, her hair, and not worry about these hair strands, because it's, in the big scheme of things, not that important. But what I am doing, and I forgot to ink this, so just bear with me. I did fussy cut out a butterfly, and I'm just going to glue the body, because what I'd like to do is leave the wings so that they can be propped up as if it's in flight. This cluster of floral right here, I went in and I found some small little floral that I'm going to put here to give it kind of a little bit of a raised element so that it really looks like those are standing out, and I did put some pop-ups on the back. So that's what I'm going to do here. Over here on this side is this piece. Now, when we cut this, there was an image of a moon up at the top. So if you want to, you could use this ephemera piece, the moon, to help replace the image we cut from the top. It's entirely up to you. But what I am doing is I'm changing around the cluster of flowers a little bit. I want a little bit more blue on this. So I cut out this cluster, this floral, this cluster. This is going to go in the middle, and I'm just going to place those right over the flowers that are there. And then this one here is going to replace this down here, and I've got them all on pop-ups. Now I have a flower left over. I wonder where I was going to put it. I'll set it aside. So I trimmed these so that you have an idea, right at 6 inches. So 6 inches, cut it straight up, and then you're going to have a couple of pieces up here at the top. That's where this piece is coming from, is up here at the top, and then there was the moon, which we cut off of the top up here. So that's why I'm saying if you want to put this moon here, you would be placing back this accent in the paper. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get these glued down. And then I'm going to put this one, put it at the right angle down here. And then I'm going to put, I'm replacing this. I want, like I said, I want more blue because there is a lot of gold and cream and beige. And then I'm going to darken this blue up just a little bit with this one. I'm going to come right up underneath. And there's my new cluster on this side. I do find this a bit naked, so you could put another saying here if you want, but you've got your quoted saying down here below. Or, like I said, you can put in the moon. I'm kind of still out on the fence on that. All right, so now we're going to lay this piece in, but I am going to tape it. And while we're working on this, think we have a lot of these. I would like to take advantage of, so I might make something out of them. Just as a heads up. Okay. All right, I am going to glue down just that piece, and I'm going to set it right in over that butterfly. And then I think this was the one I was going to use here because it was bigger. Set that right there. And then those two right there. And I think this is too big to go here. And I really don't have another place to put, I guess I could put it right there. Seeing how I cut it out. I got a pop-up on it. There. Okay, so I am really not liking that blank spot, so I think I'm going to commit, and I'm going to replace the moon. Come on. Okay. So this is our front. You're going to open it up to her. You've got some floral. And then I'm still going to think about this, but you've got your tucks. You've got a lot of space here. You've got this big tuck of photo and another tuck over here. So let's go ahead, turn it over. Let's grab our tape and we're going to install it in the album. And then we're going to grab some 3/8. Center support. I might cap my glue off before the tip dries. All right, let's grab our album. And then this is going to sit in here just like so. Okay, So I'm going to take this strip off. This one. This one. Turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. I want to be careful burnishing because of these. Back on this so that it stands up straight, and then I can commit it. All right. So that is signature number 4. I'll come back in and do this, or I might look for a different embellishment. We'll see. Close that up. Here we go. We got one more to go. So until then.